Post-fermented tea is a class of tea which is very different from the others. This is tea that's actually been allowed to ferment. One of the most classic examples of post-fermented tea is Pu Erh tea. Pu Erh tea comes from Yunnan province in the southwest of China. This area is the motherland of tea. The earth is extremely dark and rich, and growing in this forests are semi-wild, old age, big leaf tea trees. It's a very specific cultivar of tea tree which has been allowed to grow, so the leaves are large and they've actually become trees. The special thing about this tea tree is that if you pick the leaf and you treat it exactly the same way as a green tea, so you pick it, you wither it, you pan fry it to deactivate oxidation, but then you pack it into small cakes, you may see cakes like this or larger cakes, and leave it, over the years the microorganisms that exist naturally on the leaf allow the tea to ferment, and as it ferments the tea darkens, becomes smoother, and the health properties and benefits change as it ferments over time. Now, I have here one pellet of Pu Erh tea, so you can take a look here. The aging time for Pu Erh tea, from raw leaf to fully aged, fully fermented Pu Erh tea, is around 20 to 25 years. This is 23 years old. So you can see that it's slightly darker than green tea would be, but if I left this over time for another 5, 6, 7 years, it would grow even darker. Because of the fact that the Chinese are very industrious and they want to produce tea as quickly as possible, they decided that 20 to 25 years was a very long time to wait to be able to sell their properly aged Pu Erh tea. So they devised a new method of fermenting the tea by speeding up the process. So what they do is they pick the leaf and then they pile the leaf after they've fried it. They pile it in large clean warehouses. They turn up the temperature and the humidity, and this accelerates the fermentation process. It's a very skilled process. They have to go in every day and rake the leaves to prevent any must or mold from developing. But they've managed to cut down the time from 20 to 25 years to about 2 months. So you can imagine how much faster the fermentation process is. So with Pu Erh tea, you have two strains of Pu Erh tea. You have raw Pu Erh tea that has been allowed to age naturally, and then you have got cooked Pu Erh tea, which is tea that has been artificially fermented faster than normal. In terms of the flavors, the flavor of Pu Erh is very, very earthy. It's like sticking your nose in a big pile of autumn leaves. So you want that real, rich, earthy taste. Some people are a little bit put off Pu Erh tea because sometimes if it's not been rinsed properly, it can have a slight marine water, seaweed kind of note to it. But the flavor when you drink it is extremely earthy, extremely clean, and very, very fresh. It's a delicious tea and it's extremely healthy for you. The fermentation process actually creates natural statins in the tea that help to lower your cholesterol. So a lot of people use this tea as a way of controlling cholesterol levels. Another great use of Pu Erh tea is to use as a digestive. So drinking it after a meal, when you've had a heavy meal, it's a perfect way to digest. So if you've indulged in a curry or a really rich meal, I suggest that you pick up a pot of Pu Erh tea.